world has never been more diversified as it is today. If we look at the time period before 9/11 and the years leading up to 9/11, everybody talked about the world is flat and that people are becoming, with the globalization, people are getting to know each other. However, if 9/11 taught us anything, it was that there are a lot of differences that we have to deal with. We might be closer together, but there are some differences. Cultural intelligence seeks in many ways to be complementary to IQ and EQ as we have known it over the years. We understand emotional intelligence, and however, cultural intelligence seeks to equip individuals with the fundamental basics in terms of how do you deal with people from other cultures. So from the year 2003, basically, is when cultural intelligence began to evolve into a more academic science. It is built upon the educational paradigms of John Dewey, Piaget, with experiential learning theory, which basically tells you that people learn best out of experiential knowledge. There are four facets that cultural intelligence seek to deal with. Most of the work that we have done in cross-cultural ministry has basically been emphasizing two areas. It has emphasized knowledge and it has emphasized behavior. Let's put it this way. In other words, if you want to work with another culture, what you do is you learn a lot about the culture, you learn what they do, and then secondly, you learn about their behaviors. And so that when you go to a country, you have two arrows in your quiver, so to speak. You have the knowledge about who the people are and how do they act. However, that presents us with a deficit. It is a deficit primarily because if you look at an iceberg, you have the tip of the iceberg, which is above the ocean, and then you have the bottom. The larger part of the iceberg is really submerged below the bottom. What most people deal with when they talk about cross-cultural ministry, even in terms of its effectiveness, is about what is at the top. And in cultural intelligence language, we say this is the artifact, or we are dealing with the artifacts. However, submerged below that are the basic values and the assumptions that really inform the artifacts or inform the behavior. Now, cultural intelligence takes it a little further. Rather than just talk about the knowledge about cultures and how people in a particular culture behave, it deals with two other things. First of all, it deals with motivation, or the drive. What it is would motivate you to want to work with people from another culture. And secondly, it helps you to develop a strategy so that it is a circle you're talking about. Number one, it is motivation. Number two, it's knowledge or cognition. Number three, it's metacognition, which is thinking about the strategy that will help you to deal with the behavior that may surprise you. So that ordinarily, when we learn a lot about the behavior for people in a certain culture, what we know is that people from a culture behave a certain way. However, if you are surprised by even the behaviors that you find, we are usually, those of us involved in cross-cultural ministry, are usually not really equipped to take a step back, develop a strategy, and then to go back in a sort of a reflective observation type of way in terms of looking at how. So I think that as we move forward, even as we work cross-culturally and we work with peoples of other cultures in the United States, with the influx of immigrants, cross-cultural intelligence will be very, very beneficial for individuals as they move forward. So, and what we are doing for mission support is that we would be traveling around the country and we would be conducting 4 hour leadership and 4 hours of workshop. It is called the Cross-Cultural Enhancement Workshops, in which we take people through all of these moves so that they would be helped in dealing with peoples of other cultures. And it is basically very, very nice.